Danny Meyer built his restaurant empire by focusing on good food and what he calls enlightened hospitality. Meyer is the founder of the burger joint Shake Shack, some of the best burgers in the world. The popular fast casual chain has 178 locations worldwide. He's also CEO of Union Square Hospitality Group, which owns 17 New York area restaurants. 4 of those now operate completely cashless, and Meyer says more will follow. Now, this is not the first time he's made some innovative moves. In 2015, Meyer established a hospitality-included policy and got rid of tipping at several restaurants. Danny Meyer joins us once again at the table. All right, Danny Meyer, people always say you're ahead of the curve, so now you're going cashless at your places. Why?
Well, for those places of ours that are going cashless, which are now 4, the reason is primarily security for our staff. When you have cash on premise, you're only inviting problems. You're inviting potential problems from the outside. You're also inviting potential problems from the inside. It also creates speed.
It's more efficient to do.
It's more efficient. It's also, believe it or not, especially, and I'm not talking about the fine dining restaurants where so few people use cash anyway, but in a fast casual or fine casual restaurant, the more people handling cash and handling your food also can lead to some sanitary issues.
Well, one of the pushback I've heard, though, is that people that don't have credit cards
or bank account
or a bank account, that it sort of excludes that type of clientele.
Well, I wish our restaurants were so inexpensive that people who can't get credit cards could also afford to eat there. I'm just kidding about that.
Yeah.
But we're sensitive to that, and we had to weigh that because the last thing we want to do is be exclusionary. We're a hospitality business, and at the end of the day, we said that most people these days are either using apps or they're using credit cards or they're using loyalty cards, and they don't even want to have pennies and nickels jangling in their pockets. If somebody absolutely says, I'm dying to eat, one of your tacos at Tacocina, but I don't have a credit card, we're going to probably find a way to take care of them anyway. But I think when you have an overarching philosophy about it, you definitely make the place safer for everybody who works there.
Danny, including being an incredible restaurateur, you also seem to be able to get ahead of political issues before they sort of strike. You see Massachusetts bars restaurants from being cashless and other businesses. You see this now in the D.C. City Council is saying, no, we're going to ban restaurants and other companies from doing that. It's also happening in the city of Chicago. What would you tell legislators who want to tell businesses like you, no, you can't be completely cashless?
I would say I'm glad you're a legislator and I'm glad I'm a hospitality guy, because I feel like there is a genuine issue, and I really do understand this question. I have friends who go traveling and they don't want to get the credit card fee for the for the exchange rate. I get that, but at the end of the day, we're only in business if we have people who are happy to come to work, and if people feel like they're not safe because there's so much cash on premise, it's not ultimately a good thing. I also think that our society is moving away from cash. I even think that wallets are going to go away one of these days. And if we could rely upon biometrics, my eyes tell you everything you need to know about me, my table preference, my allergies, my credit card information.
That's the future.
Has there been a big uptick in crime related to cash, or has this just always been an ongoing challenge with restaurants, and so why not get
Nothing new today that we haven't seen for years, but it's always been an issue.
And have you tried this experiment anywhere to get feedback on how this works with customers?
We have. We're doing it right now at 4 of our places. One of them is Daily Provisions here in New York. One is Martina, and one is Tacocina.
And how many instances have there been where people say, I don't have any cash?
There's been a handful. As a matter of fact, I had an investment banker come up to me a couple days ago and say, you know what, I left my credit card at home. He actually had a credit card.
What's his name?
I'm not telling you that, but you know what he said?
What?
He said, you know why I love your places so much? I left my credit card at home, and they said, don't worry about it. And he came back the next day to pay, and they said, don't worry about it. The best thing.
Before we go, though, Danny, there is a big story in the news about Sarah Sanders being rejected, being asked to leave a restaurant. How would you handle that situation? Is that something that you would have done, or anyone at your staff would have done?
I'd like to think that the people we hire at our restaurants are there for the purpose of hospitality. I'm benefiting from having grown up with a Republican dad and a Democratic mom, and we use the dinner table to talk things out. I think it's a slippery slope. How do you know that Sarah Sanders or someone wasn't dining with a liberal friend and they were going to use the table as an opportunity to work things out?
She says she was a liberal family member.
Doesn't surprise me. So you know what? Look, if the minute you see me checking people's political registration at the door, That's
Bad for
a
business.
bad future, I think, for our business.
All right, Danny Meyer. I expected that answer from you. Thank you, sir. Can't wait to go to your new place. Thanks a lot.